In an ambitious move to reconfigure the electoral system, the High Level Committee on One Nation, One Election has recommended moving to a synchronized poll mechanism for all three tiers parliament, state assemblies, and local bodies, and laid out a clear roadmap in a bid to improve governance and reduce disruptions caused by frequent polls. The plan of synchronization of elections is to transition in two stages by first combining the date for assembly and parliamentary polls and the second step holding elections for panchayats and municipal bodies within 100 days of the general election. The polls will be synchronized by setting an appointed date and curtailing assemblies to coincide with Lok Sabha elections. The switchover, however, will be a time consuming exercise. Centre can move to simultaneous Lok Sabha and assembly polls through a constitutional amendment without having to get endorsed by state legislators, but synchronizing local body polls will need the concurrence of at least half the state assemblies. Accordingly, some consensus building may be required as several states will see their 5-year terms cut short whenever the change is implemented. PM Modi's backing for the plan, which culminated in constitution of the committee, means BJP if returns to office can push through the amendment with the implementation likely to be promised in this election manifesto this time round. BJP-led NDA also has governments in more than half the state. Less than 200 days since it was set up on September 2 last year, the committee headed by former President Ramnath Kovind submitted its report to Draupadi Murmu on Thursday, underlining the keens to move ahead with the change. India ranked at 134 on a list of 193 countries in 22 as per the latest Human Development Index, a notch higher than 135 out of 192 countries in 21. Attributed mainly to improvement across all HDI indicators over the previous year, increase in life expectancy from 67 to 67.7, expected year of schooling going up to 12.6 to 12 as per capita gross national income increasing from $6,000 to $6,900 among others. According to UNDP's Human Development Report 23-24, India showed progress in reducing gender inequality, ranking 108 out of 166 countries in Gender Inequality Index as compared with 122 out of 170 nations in 21. With the GII value of Gender Inequality Index value of 0.4 in 22, India fared better than the global average of 0.46 and South Asian average of 0.478. I&B Ministry Thursday blocked 18 OTT platforms for obscene and vulgar language and content. Multiple websites, apps and social media handles of blocked OTT were also blocked. The OTT include Neo, Next, VIP, Dream Films, Uncut, Adda, Moz Flix and Prime Play. A day ahead of deadline, Election Commission on Thursday uploaded on its website details of electoral bonds worth Rs 12,000 crore bought from SBI between April 12-19 to January 24 this year, and a list of bonds deposited by the party in their accounts over this period for a total of Rs 12,000 crore. At the top of the donor list are relatively little known corporates such as Future Gaming and Hotel Services, Mega Engineering and Infrastructures, and Quick Supply Chain Private Limited. Other corporates that bought EBs worth rupees over 200 crore are Anil Agrawal Control Mining and Metal Conglomerate, Vedanta Limited, Haldia Energy, R&P, this and this. The top 22 donors with rupees 100 crore or more each in donations cumulatively account of rupees 6,000 crore of almost half of the total. A preliminary analysis of the larger donors based on EC data shows that several groups have contributed through more than one entity. A more detailed study may show further small contributions through their group entities. Also, the corporate linkage of some donors could not be reliably ascertained by the time of the going of press. Former IAS officers Gyanesh Kumar and Sukhbir Singh Sandhu were appointed as election commissioners on Thursday and will hit the ground running, with the election commission set to announce poll dates for Lok Sabha and 4 state assemblies. The two appointments were approved by the PM-led selection panel at a meeting on Thursday afternoon. attended by Home Minister Amit Shah and Leader of Congress in Lok Sabha Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. As the other two members, Chaudhary put up a dissent note raising questions over the procedure of appointment of the two EC members, calling it a mere formality as he was given a short list of 6 candidates just 10 minutes before the meeting. The vacancies were created due to the completion of Anup Chandra Pandey's tenure in February when he turned 65 and thereafter the sudden resignation of Arun Goyal on March 8. Sukhbir Singh Sandhu, retired as Uttarakhand Chief Secretary, laid ground for UCC bill in state, has held post and of Additional Secretary in HRD Minister and NHI Chairman, holds MBBS, LLB and MA degrees, currently Secretary Lokpal. Gyanesh Kumar, Kerala Cadre Officer from UP, retired as Secretary Corporation in January as MHA Joint Secretary, handled scrapping of Article 370, oversaw Ram Temple Trust formation, BTech from IIT Kanpur, PG in Economics from Harvard. Other in shortlist, Utpal Kumar Singh, this and this. Home Minister Amit Shah on Thursday justified non-inclusion of Muslims from Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan in Citizenship Act 19, saying that Akhand Bharat was broken earlier to give them a separate Muslim state, as he announced a campaign to mobilize public opinion in favor of the law and expose those who were opposing it as part of their politics of appeasement. Speaking to ANI, Shah took on Congress for hinting at repeal of CAA if India was voted into office at the centre. Even India Alliance knows that it will not come to power. CAA will brought by Modi-led BJP government and it will impossible to repeal it. Data put out by EC shows while BJP got the largest amount of rupees 6,000 crore or almost half the total of contributions via electoral bonds, the next biggest recipient was TMC. Congress, BRS, BJD and DMK followed. Parties that have been running government in state figured higher on the list than those in opposition, one exception being JDU which while governing Bihar the entire time received all of rupees 14 crore. States endowed with major minerals but featuring low on the prosperity index told Supreme Court on Thursday that India's economic federalism would be fractured by the centre's vehemence in denying states their right to tax mineral bearing lands and question big industrial groups Adani, Ambani, Tata and Vedanta for supporting the union state. Appearing for mineral development authorities in Odisha, Jharkhand and Assam, senior advocate Rakesh Dwivedi questioned centre's doomsday argument of an economic disaster if state were to impose taxes on major minerals. Why would the union think that state would be irresponsible as to impose 300 to 500% tax on minerals? Even in the remote possibility of state doing so, Parliament has enough powers to enact a law to limit the tax burden on minerals as provided under entry 54 of list 1 read with entry 50 of list 2 of the Constitution, he added. With a bench of CJI D.Y. Chandrachud and Justices Harish Roy and A.S. Okha, B.V. Nagaratham, this and this, receptive to his line of argument, Dwivedi asked why states endowed with rich deposits of major minerals had remained the poorest among their peers. This is because for decades they have been denied their legitimate share of revenue from minerals, he said. He said West Bengal has been taxing minerals for the last 20 years and the centre was comfortable with it. Why a different yardstick for other states, he added. Taking a dig at big industrial houses engaged in mining, Dwivedi suggested there was a nexus between them and the centre. He said denial of taxation rights to states would open another front for union-state confrontation. Congress MP Rahul Gandhi on Thursday announced 5 guarantees for farmers that the India bloc will implement if the coalition comes to power. These included crop loan waiver of farmers, exclusion of farmers from the ambit of GST, minimum support price for farm produce based on the Swaminathan Commission's recommendations, framing new import-export policies keeping the interest of farmers in mind, and restructuring of the PM crop insurance scheme. Jointly addressing a rally with NCP Chief Sharad Pawar and UBT MP Sanjay Raut In rural Nasik, Rahul said while UPA government waived farm loans to the tune of rupees 72,000 crore, the Modi government waived loans of 22 capitalists not for farmers. Rahul said farmers in India were not getting good rates for their produce and promised a better price that will be 1.5 times more than the comprehensive cost of production. Sharad Pawar criticized the Modi government for its lack of interest in farmers' issues and its failure to address inflation and unemployment. During his address, Pawar appealed to people to be united and vote against Modi government in the Lok Sabha polls. Electric vehicle manufacturers will have to provide a 3-year warranty for batteries under the new subsidy scheme, Electric Mobility Promotion Scheme, aimed at promoting green mobility, details of which were made public on Thursday. They will have to also make sure that there is an ecosystem for other sales services of batteries to prolong the lives of the people. Batteries in EV account for nearly 40% of the cost of vehicles, as per a notification issued by the Heavy Industries Ministry. The EV makers availing the benefit under EMPS will need to ensure high degree of localization for the models that were eligible under the scheme. It mandated a 3-year or 20,000 km warranty to two-wheelers and 80,000 km warranty for three-wheelers to be eligible for the scheme. The EV makers will need to ensure they may have component manufacturing in place before claiming for any subsidy. Government-run fuel retailers on Thursday slashed prices of petrol and diesel by rupees 2 per litre. In a separate post on X, the oil ministry said the latest reduction will boost consumer spending and reduce operating costs for over 58 lakh heavy goods vehicles running on diesel, 6 crore cars and 27 crore two-wheelers. Petrol and diesel prices have remained frozen since May 2022, when the centre last reduced excise duty on them. This was the second excise duty reduction in 7 months that had followed a similar move on November 421. The two reductions together had brought down the excise duty on petrol and diesel prices by a total of rupees 13 lakh and 16 per litre, respectively. After the second duty cut, BJP governed state also implemented matching cuts in VAT to soften the impact of global oil prices. Technically, fuel retailers are free to decide retail prices of petrol and diesel, but in practice, government informally cast a long shadow. The recent fall in oil prices had turned petrol and diesel profitable for retailers, but they were waiting for a signal. That is how prices have been held steady since the last reduction in 22, even though fuel had switched between becoming loss-making and profitable proposition for various stretches of time in between. Initiating action in coordination with various intermediaries, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting blocked 18 over-the-top OTT platforms for obscene and vulgar language content on Thursday. The ministry also blocked multiple websites, applications and social media handles of the blocked OTTs nationwide for violation of IT Act, IPC and Indecent Representation of Women Act. The action has disabled 19 websites, 10 apps and 57 social media accounts associated with these platforms for public access in India. I&B Minister Anurag Singh Thakur emphasized the responsibility of platforms to not propagate obscenity, vulgarity and abuse under guise of creative expression. The decision was taken under the provision of the IT Act 2000 in consultation with other ministries, departments and domain experts. The OTT include Nexon X VIP, Dreamflips, Uncut Adda, Movie Prime Play, this and this. Ganesh Kumar and Sukhbir Singh Sandhu belonged to 1988 batch of IAS and had superannuated on January. The latter, though, was on a 6-month extension. Given that both were appointed as EC members on the same day, it remains to be seen who will succeed CEC Rajiv Kumar, whose tenure ends in February 25. As per convention, senior-most election commissioner is appointed as CEC and seniority is counted from the day of the member joining the commission. Sources said the clue as who is senior of the two many line notification of their appointment. Law Ministry notification named Kumar first, and sources said this indicated that he will be senior to Sandhu, making him next in line to be CEC by seniority principle. Kumar, an IAS officer of Kerala cadre, retired as Secretary Ministry of Corporation on January 31. He will have to 5-year tenure till 19. When he turns 65, Sandhu, who belongs to Uttarakhand cadre, will have a tenure of 4.5 years until July 28. He had retired as Chief Secretary of Uttarakhand and had earlier served as NHAI Chairman. Kumar was in charge of the Kashmir division in the Home Ministry when Article 370 was nullified in J&K. He was also part of MHA's dedicated desk for Ayodhya case related matters and was involved in formation of the Sri Ram Janmabhoomi Tirath Kshetra Trust. In 14, as the Resident Commissioner of Kerala in Delhi, Kumar was deputed by the state government to evacuate 48 nurses stuck in the Erbil in war-torn Iraq. The operation was successful with the excavation of 183 Indians, including 70 from Kerala, from Iraq. Kumar, an IIT Kanpur graduate, is a postgraduate in economics from Harvard University. Sandhu was Chief Secretary of Uttarakhand until July 23 and had prepared the ground for implementation of Uniform Civil Code in the state. He was also closely involved in the reconstruction efforts of Kedarnath Temple. He is an MBBS from Amritsar Medical College and has a master's degree in history. PM Modi is likely to visit Bhutan next week as the invitation of his counterpart Shering Tobge who met the Indian PM during his ongoing India visit, his first abroad since taking over as a PM earlier this year. Glad to meet my friend and PM of Bhutan on his first overseas visit in his term. Had productive discussions encompassing various aspects of our unique and special partnership. I convey heartfelt thanks to His Majesty the King of Bhutan and PM of Bhutan for inviting me to visit Bhutan next week, said Modi on X. The two sides have been preparing for what will be Modi's last visit abroad during his second term as PM for the past few weeks. Tobge is on a 5-day visit in India, during which he will also travel to Mumbai. Ahead of his arrival, the Union Cabinet has approved the signing of MOUs between India and Bhutan and extending cooperation in the field of energy efficiency and energy conservation measures. As part of the MOU, India aims to assist Bhutan to enhance energy efficiency in the household sector by promoting star labeling program developed by the Bureau of Energy Efficiency. India aims to support Bhutan in its endeavor to develop and implement the standards of labeling scheme, said a statement. The report says frequent elections create uncertainty, slow down government machinery, that when elections are held repeatedly, the quite often half the time of 5 years is spent in electioneering. This can't be argued against. Plus, since almost every party has only a few star campaigns, simultaneous polls spare them from always being in campaign mode. In theory, at least, this means more than for the governance. Two key constitutional amendments are suggested to alter the duration of state legislature and to alter the duration of municipalities and panchayats. The first needs only parliamentary ratification, the report says, and the second will need states' ratification. What will happen in practice? If a state government falls midway through its 5-year term, there are two scenarios. One, new government can be formed minus fresh polls. That government's term will end when the next round of ONOE is due. 2. No government is formed. This means either fresh state polls or central rule. The report says it's for EC to decide what should happen. Even a newly elected government's term will end when ONOE is due. Logistics of it implementation will be a task. Simultaneous elections will face the biggest challenges in troops, deployment and procurement of EVMs. One suggestion during consultation was to have paper ballots in rural areas till EVM manufacturing is buttressed to meet the demand. Stringer electoral roll. The report says that the committee found mostly electoral rolls are prepared by state election commissions after taking them from CEC At times, these led to duplication errors as part of its digitization projects. EC already has a unified voter roll UNPER, a single electoral roll for all levels of government, Lok Sabha, state and municipalities. Panchayats is certainly required. Most states have separate rolls for panchayat elections. A day after foundation stone of three semiconductor projects worth rupees over 1.2 lakh crore was laid, Electronics and IT Minister Ashwani Vaishnaw on Thursday said that 5 more fabs are in the pipeline. Further, several assembly, testing, marking and packaging units would be set up as part of the mission to create the entire value chain ecosystem and a very strong semiconductor industry in India. The investment in the 4 projects where construction had started is in the order of rupees 1.66 lakh crore. This is just the beginning. In the next 5 years, we should be seeing at least 4 or 5 more fabs and many more ATMP units. We are very open and clear to take the opportunity to any state that is focusing on this industry, because this industry is very important for our future. At least 8 states are working very seriously for their future projects after seeing the success of the past 4 projects, he told reporters after inaugurating US semiconductor major Qualcomm's design center in Chennai, pointing out the semiconductors is the gateway to a slew to other industries such as automobile, industrial electronics, laptop, servers, mobile phone and consumer electronics and transportation. He said it is vital to get the value chain in India. We will create a very strong semiconductor industry in our country. We will also look at developing many chipsets from end to end and new products fully developed in our country, he said. It's time to enter the business end. The league stage is over and only 2 knockout matches remaining, the eliminator and final. While Delhi Capitals have made it to the decider by finishing on top of the table, the next 2 Mumbai Indians and Royal Challengers Bangalore will fight it out in the eliminator for a final spot. This WPL, both teams have won a match each against one another. MI emerged victorious by 7 wickets the first time at the Chinnaswamy Stadium in Bengaluru, while RCB retained the favour by the same margin at the Arun Jaitley Stadium in Delhi. It's quite clear the two teams are matched evenly going. A lot therefore will depend on the conditions and how the players from both sides counter them. Bengaluru clearly was the more high-scoring venue, whereas Delhi has been mixed. Some matches have favoured the bowlers due to the sluggish nature of the pitch, while a few saw batters on the rampage. MI's campaign has seen their talismanic captain Harmanpreet Kaur led from the front. Harmanpreet has been the team's top run getter with 235 runs in 6 innings at an average of 30.58 and a strike rate of 146. On the bowling front, Shabnim Ismail has bowled some thunderbolts. The South African recorded the fastest delivery bowled over in women's cricket during the game against Delhi Capitals. MI are expecting the return of Yashika Bhatia. Other key players are Amela Kair and this. RCB have had their 2 big guns, Smriti Mandhana and Alice Perry, firing on all cylinders. Smriti has smashed 259 runs in 8 innings, while Perry has 246 runs in 7 innings. The acquisition of pacers Shardul Thakur and Mustafir Rahman had added sting to the Chennai Super Kings bowling attack ahead of the IPL. The reigning campaign's bowling coach Dwayne Bravo feels the current bowling roster has got stronger than when compared to last season. When we have our baby Lasith Malingas, Mathisha Pathirana, Mukesh Chaudhary is back and so is Deepak. Also, it's good to have Shardul back in the team and Fizz is also there. So this squad is very good. We have a lot of depth. These guys add to what we had last year and we have a better attack now. I am excited to work with them along with Eric, the other bowling coach. Bravo said at a promotional event here. At the beginning of the last season, death overs bowling was a major worry for CSK, but Bravo, who was regarded as a death over specialist, combined with Simons to make the CSK pace pack a potent one. In the auction, I don't have any input, but now my job starts and I take part in the specific death bowling role because that's my specialty. In T20s, that is very important segment of the game and it requires a lot of skill, bravery and planning. So you have to implement and get these guys to believe in a philosophy. Last season we were the best death bowling team and we look forward to repeating it again this season, said the 40-year-old. Farewells can turn into fairy tales too. Drafted into the 11 at the last minute for the Ranji final against Vidarbh at the Wankhede Stadium after he sat out for most of the season, Dhaval Kulkarni played his part in a send-off was part perfect that it seemed scripted. After taking 3 for 15 in the first inning with some equality bowling, Kulkarni ended up taking the final wicket of Vidarbh innings 2, which the last ball of his first class career when he cleaned up Umesh Yadav's stump as the batsman went for a big heave, triggering wild celebrations in the Mumbai teams and fans of Ranji Trophy title number 42. Soon after last strike handed Mumbai a 169 run win over a resolute Vidarbh. On day 5 of the final, Kulkarni looked skywards, thanking the heavens before breaking into tears and hugging his teammates, who would later hoist the veteran pacer off their shoulders, coming after an agonizing wait of 7 seasons which saw 2 defeats in the final. His triumph, fittingly coming at home, was heartwarming for Mumbai supporters. A unique feature of this team is that unlike the Mumbai sides of the past, only captain Ajinkya Rahane, Kulkarni, Shreyas Iyer and Shardul Thakur were part of Ranji winning sides before this win. Incidentally, of the 13 Ranji finals at the Wankhede Stadium, Mumbai have won 11. Rahane on the Thursday became the 26th Mumbai captain to hold the trophy. In 89 editions of the tournament, Mumbai have played in 48 finals. Rahane, though rightly doffed his hat of the Vidarbh for turning this final into an engrossing battle after they looked dead and buried when they were skittled out for just 105 on day 2 morning, seizing a mammoth 538 run target. Vidarbh were against all odds kept in the game by their gallant captain Akshay Wadkar and his 130 run partnership for the 6th wicket with the equally brave Harsh Dubey. When play resumed for the final day, Vidarbh 248 for 5 needed 290, but after the duo added 85 in 33 overs. But before lunch, the target was whittled down to 205, and you thought that the impossible was possible. However, once Wadkar was trapped LPW by off-spinner Tanush Kotian, who emerged Mumbai's final day hero with 4 for 48.